this video, I'm gonna put 300 pounds of fertilizer on my front yard, and I'm gonna see if I can make it look really great. And I got one more little trick up my sleeve that I might show you in this video as well to see if I can get this yard looking the best yard in the entire city. Let's see what we can do. So it's mid-April at the time of this initial part of this video, and this is what my yard looks like. And today I'm gonna be riding the Z-Spray. Z-Turf Equipment has provided the machine for this video. This is the new 2023 Z-Spray Mid, the mid version, and excited to be throwing out some fertilizer. So I've got 6 bags of fertilizer. Let me just say this, when I say 300 pounds of fertilizer, that is a lot, but it's nothing crazy extreme. When I'm talking about my front yard area here is about 20,000 square feet. This is a 38% nitrogen fertilizer. So even at 300 pounds on this yard, let's say it's 20,000 square feet, if I do a bag for every 10,000 square feet, that's gonna be, if my math is correct, 3.8 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet on this lawn, because there's 19 pounds of nitrogen in each of these bags. 19 times 6, because it's 6 bags. So if I put all 6 bags on here, it's gonna be 114 pounds of nitrogen on 20,000 square feet. So that's actually nothing crazy at all. So if my math is correct, that's 5.7 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. It's tough math today. But I've had 19 pounds of nitrogen per bag, and there's 6 bags. That's 114 pounds over 20,000 square feet. Now, that's a lot of nitrogen, but a Bermuda lawn can handle that. Now I'm gonna need to mow it, and to get this thing, now I should get some dark green color, and I'm gonna need to mow it frequently with that amount of nitrogen. And I'm not encouraging you by any means in this video, just go throw a whole ton of nitrogen out on your yard. You need to understand what kind of grass you have and how much nitrogen your grass can take, and how often are you willing to mow the grass, okay? So this is gonna be a heavy dose, but on this Bermuda yard, it can take it. I just have to be willing to mow the grass, and again, I might pull out the secret weapon to help me accomplish this. So let's get started. 300 pounds of nitrogen on this front yard, and we're gonna see what it looks like. This is gonna be a 6-week experiment, okay? Putting this out, showing the results in 6 weeks from now, and we'll see what it looks like. One other advantage I forgot to tell you, this is not a fast release fertilizer. This is mostly slow release fertilizer. So it's not like I'm putting 5.7 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. It's all gonna be released in the next 2 to 3 weeks. This is gonna last for months actually. So we might not get the initial just crazy green up that would almost be risky if we don't get a lot of rain. It's gonna be a slower feed of nitrogen, but it's gonna sure enough make it green, but also should keep it green for months, hopefully till the end of the growing season. This thing holds a lot of fertilizer. At least 5 bags, maybe 6. Now let me just say, I'm getting experienced on driving this, but I wouldn't consider myself an experienced driver yet, okay? So I'm gonna do the best I can. This thing has a foam marking kit, which I love. It actually drops foam bubbles. It's an accessory on this, but mine has it. Foam bubbles to let you know where you've been, where you haven't been. So I want to try to get a nice even pattern, because I don't want dark green, light green, dark green. I want it nice and even the whole way across. I got 6 bags. I'm just gonna go 3 bags and then 3 bags. This is the lawn care workout. You pick up 50-pound bags of fertilizer. Get results like me. It's supposed to rain tonight too, so that'll be good. I'm gonna put the hopper cover on, turn this thing on. Let's get to spreading some fertilizer. got the fertilizer put out. Let me tell you what happened while I was out there. I had this thing set pretty high as far as how much fertilizer it was throwing out, and I went over the front yard 2 times, and you see that foam marking key? I love that thing. Drops those bubbles and they go away in about 10 minutes or so. But anyway, I went over the front twice, once on camera, once off camera, and there was still some fertilizer in the hopper. So I ended up going 1 pass around the side and a little bit in the backyard as well. So we're not gonna have 5.7 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet, but there's still a lot of nitrogen. I'm gonna say somewhere between 4 and 4.5 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet, because I was looking at it and I'm kind of relieved, honestly, it's not 5.7, because when I started seeing how much fertilizer is on the ground, I'm like, this grass is gonna be growing like crazy. And I thought, I don't want to triple it. I just did, I'll probably use 2/3 on the front and 1/3 on the side and back. So we still got a lot of fertilizer out there. I still put out 300 pounds. I just did less on the front and some around the side. So we're gonna see some crazy things happen with this grass, I got a feeling. We'll give it the 6 weeks like we said, and we'll check up on along the way, and then hopefully have a grand finale to show you at the end. It's been about 2.5 weeks since I dumped all that fertilizer on my front yard. I want to show you what the results are. First, let me say, the weather has been a little inconsistent. We've had cool nights, even I'm out here early this morning, it's cool. The daytime temperatures are getting up in the 70s, but just not quite as hot as it normally would be even this time of year. I'm filming this late April. So I think overall my yard is greener than most people I've seen. I take care of a lot of yards, and a lot of them are very slow to green up this year. But with that being said, I think we're seeing some results on my yard. I'm not gonna wrap up the video today because I think there's better, darker, greener colors yet to come. So let me show you what it looks like. So there it is. And there's dew on the grass. But the other thing I did a weed control application on my yard. Just had a bunch of little broadleaf weeds popping up on the yard. You can see had some little ones and some big ones also that I spray the yard with Change Up, which is a product I use to knock out a lot of broadleaf weeds. I cut the grass about 5 days ago. So overall, from a distance, it's looking really good. In the color, it's got dew on it. If I go walk out there, you'll see my footsteps in it. But I think it's improving a lot, and we're gonna give it some more time and see if we can get some hot weather coming. It's just, again, been a cool spring. Some nights down in the low 40s consistently, and just nothing in the 80s except for just a couple rare days. So this Bermuda, when it warms up a little bit more, I think in a few weeks we're going to see it really start to pop, and we'll see what it looks like at that point. So I just wanted to give you an update. Well, it's been several weeks since we put out the fertilizer on this lawn. A few things have happened. One, the weather's gotten warmer. Two, we've gotten a lot of rain, and as a result of those things, the grass is really growing as well as the fertilizer. And I put way more fertilizer on this front yard than I normally do. Not too much per se as far as the grass goes, but a lot as far as making it grow fast. So today I want to show you the results of what the yard is looking like, and then I want to tell you what I'm else going to do, try to help this yard achieve greater beauty, if you will. I've got something else, a little secret I want to share with you in this video also. All right, here's the lawn. Now I cut it yesterday and cut it a little bit short, and so there's some little scalped areas that aren't looking great. You know, see what I'm saying right here? That's from the lawnmower damage. But if I would have left it longer, it was nice and green. Hopefully you can see the difference as far as what it looks like from the earlier recordings on the video. I need to let this grow out, and I might do that to wrap up the video. We'll check back here on it. Tell you what I'm going to put on it today to help this lawn, and I think this is something that some of you may be interested in. So I've got this product mixed in there. This is called Podium, and I've got some dedicated videos out there about growth regulator, but this is a plant growth regulator. What it does, it basically takes the energy that the grass would use to grow vertically, and it helps it grow more horizontally and deeper roots. So it gives you a nice, dense, thick looking lawn without having to mow it as often. Okay, so it's not making the grass sick, it's making it actually thicker and healthier the way I understand it. You're gonna apply it about once a month during the growing season. So on a Bermuda lawn, it's 16 ounces per acre. It's different for different grass types. So I'm gonna spray it. I've got it mixed up already in the Z spray. We're gonna spray this. You'll see bubbles going out over the lawn as I spray. That is a turf marking kit that lets me know what I've sprayed and what I haven't sprayed. Let's get to spraying, and then I want to let this grass grow out some and let the color really sink in so you can see how beautiful it looks before I wrap up the video. All right, we got it sprayed. Let's give it some time to green back up after the short mowing I put on. I'm gonna mow it a little bit taller next time, or maybe a little bit earlier where it doesn't cut it down so low and scalp it so you can see the green color. And then we'll wrap up the video. Hopefully you learned something about the fertilizer, about the growth regulator, see how I do what I do with my applications. Well, it's been several weeks since I put the fertilizer out on the yard, and I did put a lot on the front yard, and I'll just tell you, when I did it, I thought I may have put too much, okay? It started growing like crazy. We got some rain, color was great, and so I started spraying the growth regulator. I did that the one time, and then I actually did it again the other day for a second time. I try to do that about once a month. But let me show you what it looks like. I'm gonna show you the part I did fertilize, and then I'm gonna show you the part that I did also fertilize, but used less fertilizer, more of a normal amount. Now we went through, as far as the weather goes, like we put it out, getting rain, everything looking great. Then we had a 2 or 3 week dry period, and it started to lose the color, and then in the last several days we've got some rain again. I was kind of waiting on that so I could make it look decent again. But honestly, there was one period where I cut it, you know, after 2 days. It was growing so fast, and I thought that's when I needed the growth regulator. And then, but with the growth regulator, I'm able to cut it about once a week. I was cutting it 1.5 inches, then I went up to 1.75 inches, and soon I'll probably have to go up to 2 inches because I just don't want to mow it all the time. So let's look at the yard. Well, here it is. And it's early in the morning, got dew on the ground, but it's got pretty good color. I don't know how well it translates onto the video, but I'm definitely happy with it, and I probably won't use this much fertilizer next time. But the other good thing is, you know, this yard was completely renovated. Like, I killed the whole yard off about 4 years ago and just plugged it, and that filled in not too long after that, because I mean, I say not too long, man, it took 2 years, you know, to get mostly filled in. But what I'm saying is, last year I did have a yard out here, but there's still even some bare spots. Like over here, we had renovated our house. There's a spot where there's a septic tank in this area, and it was still kind of bare. Way out in the distance over there, there's some really hard ground. There's still a spot that's bare over there. So I think what I'm getting at is it allowed some of these bare spots to fill in because of the extra fertilizer. And I want to just walk across the yard here and talk to you as I walk, but you see the yard, and then I want to show you where I quit putting out the fertilizer. The good thing is, you know, you see the weed control's going pretty well, so it looks good. It does look like out here, you see kind of, all right, there's a tree. I'm trying to get my camera not to zoom in. Tree over there, but this brownish looking area, darker area, it's like it might be some common Bermuda mixed in, which it just happens. I mean, I think, well, like I said, I tried to kill off everything. Maybe not, maybe just, I don't know. Probably is a little bit of common Bermuda here where it looks a little darker and doesn't look as good, honestly. On the other side of my yard, I actually sprayed out the common Bermuda and killed it with glyphosate, and I'm trying to let it fill back in with the hybrid Bermuda. But anyway, as you get over here, you see this had more fertilizer. You get over here, you see almost right here, it's like greener and not as green. So this, I didn't put near as much fertilizer on. My cutoff was in this area here with the fertilizer. So just showing you, I mean, this isn't bad either. It just doesn't have quite the same color, especially as you move back here and the soil's real hard and compacted. So I hope you enjoyed looking at my yard, watch me put the extra fertilizer on there. Again, the Bermuda can tolerate a lot of fertilizer. It's just whether or not you're willing to mow it so much. But for me personally, this yard has been, like I said, I've been like 4 years in process of from killing it off to plugging it to out here hand watering it after I put the sod out because I didn't have a good irrigation system. I did it in the middle of the summer, which was not great. And then watching it fill in over time. Then this year, it's really looking as best as it has. I'm not saying it can't go another level, but it's looking pretty good. I've got some sand trying to smooth out some of the rough spots where I'm mowing. Sometimes I hit a bump and it kind of scalps it a little bit. But anyway, just wanted to show it to you. Appreciate you watching the video. I'm Jason Creel. If you hadn't done so, subscribe to the channel. Also want to mention the 2024 Lawn Care Life Conference coming up. That's going to be February 23rd, 24th in Springville, Alabama, 2024. You can go to lawncarelife.com. There's a conference
link. It's a Friday night, all-day Saturday event. Your meals are included. The early bird ticket pricing is $197, but it is limited seating because of the capacity of the room. So I would encourage, if you want to come, go ahead and get your tickets. You also save 10% if more than one person's coming. The other thing I want to mention is the Weed Control and Fertilization Academy. That is a course I do. It's mostly for people with warm season grasses that are wanting to get into weed control and fertilization, and maybe they had a mowing business, don't know where to get started and all that. I have sold a lot of those courses, so you can check that out also at lawncarelife.com. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.